Hi all, welcome to our second speaker orientation for ELUNA 2023. Today we will be recording the session so that we can send it out to folks who may not have been able to attend today, and if people need a refresh right before the conference, etc. Daniel, our Developers Day lead, is on the call with us as well. So if you have any Developers Day specific questions, he will be happy to help. He is also helping me with monitoring the chat and whatnot. And I don't expect this to take the full hour. So just bear with us as we go over some things you may be familiar with. And we are very excited to start our first in-person meeting again, so let's get to it. So just a quick overview of what we're going to go over today, namely what some of the key things that have changed for 2023, going over the venue, AV specs, microphones, schedule, our room moderators, in-house physicians, and what to do if you have illness, and our presenters tips. So a few big things have changed for 2023 is that one of them being that the largest rooms possible are being used for breakouts. This is purposely done to ensure that people who want to social distance can social distance. So if you walk into a room and realize it's set for 300 people, don't get too intimidated. We're just making sure that there's enough room for people to spread out should they so choose. Another thing to know is that a COVID rapid antigen test will be distributed to every attendee at the registration desks, and a negative test will be requested before going to your first event, whether it's the reception or the conference. And additionally, we will have use of an on-site urgent care. And so for our speakers, we wanted to make sure that they had kind of a basic idea of the layout of the hotel. It can be a little complicated the first time you're there, as there are between the different floors. Some elevators only go to specific floors. Some escalators will only take you to specific floors. Part of that is because there are some floors that are strictly designed to be kind of shopping mall-esque floors. And so if those floors are restricted to if you don't have a hotel key and vice versa and whatnot. So the majority of our sessions will be happening on the lobby floor in the rooms highlighted in yellow, as well as the second floor with the California Ballroom, which these two rooms, they can't see it, it's a little blurry, but the two rooms on the top yellow corner will be breakout rooms, and then the bottom will be plenary space and various meeting and breakout rooms. We will also have space on the third floor. And one thing that's important to note that during Developers Day, the Catalina Ballroom is actually two separate rooms, Avalon and Emerald Bay. However, once the annual meeting starts, the room will revert to Catalina Ballroom. And another thing to note is that the Hollywood Ballroom is where the on-site urgent care will be located. And so each of our breakout rooms will have podiums with presenter laptops, power, screen, projector, 2 microphones, and speakers. And breakout sessions that are in the California Ballroom will have AV assistants on hand. There are only maybe 2 or 3 at most that will have be in the California Ballroom outside of the plenary. However, wanted to make sure that for the handful of folks that this applies to, that you are aware of this. And if you are in San Gabriel, that room is set for our panels. So that will have presenter laptop, power, screen, etc., in addition to a table, 6 chairs, and 4 table mics. And one thing to know when I say presenter laptop, it does not necessarily mean your own device. Our AV RFP covers laptops. However, there are options if you do need to bring your own device. So for slides, the screens are configured for widescreen with the presenter view capability in PowerPoint. And please know that your slides will not be placed on computer desktops in advance. So you have some options to come with your slides. Is you can bring a flash drive, which we're double checking the ports since so many things have turned over to USB-C now. You can download your slides from Sketch onto the computer, or you can present directly from the internet browser, which, if you're using Google Slides, that is probably a good option. And if you prefer downloading slides to the computer, we recommend that you do that the day of. The AV company does not always bring back the exact same laptops to each room. And so what I advise, if this is your preference, that you pop in during the breakfast hour and download the slides the morning of, so that when you get to your room later in the day, that they're there and ready. And I am seeing a question, can we use our own laptop? Yes, we will have HDMI connections, so all you will need to bring with you is, if it does not already plug into HDMI, is an HDMI adapter. I am also seeing, could you please send out these slides to all presenters? Yes, that will be happening after this session, as well as the recording of today's session. And here we go. All of our breakout rooms are supplied with a laptop with exports pending confirmation and connecting to projector with HDMI. Okay, we got ahead of ourselves here, guys. So if you prefer to use your own device, please ensure that you brought an adapter. And any other AV questions not addressed here can be sent to John Greer. John Greer is on the steering committee and handles all of our AV logistics. So microphones. Please use the provided microphone at all times during your presentation. As you can imagine why this is in huge letters, this is kind of something that we have to remind people of every single year. And you may say, Shay, I have a loud voice. As the oldest of 6 children, I can speak pretty loudly naturally myself. However, it does not matter how loud you speak. Microphones ensure that volume is consistent throughout the presentation. And given that I talked about at the beginning of this, is that we're using the biggest rooms possible this year. So really, it's more important than ever to use the microphone. And we would really, really appreciate it if people really made the effort to ensure that that is being done. We have 2 microphones for each room, partly if you have multiple presenters, and partly so that your room moderator can assist you with running the second mic to audience members who have questions. I believe it is a hand mic. Great question, Jason. And so for Sketch, all speakers are required to upload their slides to their session in Sketch for 2 key purposes, namely to ensure our attendees can see the slides regardless of visual ability. It will also help us to ensure that all slides can be collected and uploaded to the ELUNA document repository. And if you are presenting for Developers Day, your Sketch upload deadline is May 7th. And if you're presenting for the annual meeting, that would be May 9th. And any exceptions to these deadlines must be approved by either myself or Daniel. Just shoot us an email, let us know what's up, and we will be happy to work with you. One thing to know for Sketch is ensuring how to upload your slides. So here, what you will do is in the screenshot, you see where I've pointed to speaker tools. You'll click that, and then a new box will pop up where you can click add presentation and then add the file for upload. Some miscellaneous info for Sketch. Multiple documents can be uploaded to a session. So if you have a handout or supplemental materials, we encourage uploading these to Sketch and informing attendees of their availability. Another thing is that all of our speakers need to have their Sketch profile set to public to ensure that they display correctly within Sketch, which you'll do by going into the My Account and toggling the box, make my profile and schedule public. do not try and log into Sketch just yet. One thing we are hoping to finish this week is getting everyone uploaded into Sketch. So I see the question already in the chat. What is the Sketch URL for this conference? You will receive an email notification from Sketch that you have been added as a speaker, and we're shooting for end of this week. So all of our customer-led sessions during the annual meeting will have room moderators, which you may have seen the call sent out last week. Room moderators are responsible for helping attendees with finding seats and tracking which sessions are at capacity. If you would like, they may introduce you, but that's something y'all can wrangle out before your session starts. They can ask attendees to silence mobile devices. They'll assist with microphone wrangling during Q&A, and another key thing is they'll make sure that speakers don't go over their allotted time. A lot of this we kind of leave up between the room moderator and the speaker to what best works for them. And if you would like to be a room moderator for another session, email Carla and let her know. So as I mentioned earlier, we have engaged the services of in-house physicians to provide on-site urgent care. And so these services include the urgent care plus a mobile pharmacy with on-site emergency trained paramedics. If you have forgotten your important prescriptions at home, they will be able to do that for you. And they will also have COVID testing so that if you feel like you're coming down with something, you can run over there and get tested just in case. And as we mentioned earlier, a COVID rapid antigen test will be distributed to every attendee at the registration desk. And so this test is to be self-administered before attendees join their first conference event, like the reception, meals, or sessions. And if you do happen to test positive, you should consult with the staff from in-house physicians to receive medical care. ELUNA volunteers and leadership cannot provide any medical guidance, so please confer with them. And as I mentioned, they will be located in the Hollywood Ballroom. And if you as a speaker happen to fall ill and the in-house physician's guidance indicates isolation and that interferes with your presentation time, please let me or Daniel know ASAP. And unfortunately, if you're presenting solo, we will have to cancel your presentation. And if this happens, we can either add your session to the Fall ELUNA Learn series or have you resubmit for the next annual meeting. And we don't encourage presenting virtually in lieu of illness because we want you to focus on getting better. If you have a co-presenter, but they're not entirely comfortable doing the session themselves, just let us know and we'll, can cancel with that. But we kind of default to if you're presenting solo and you've let us know that you can't present, that will be what has to happen. I think this is, regardless of the pandemic, some good changes. As for ELUNA 19, our last in-person event, I came back with the flu and was out of commission for at least a week and a half after the conference. And it would have been really nice if I had an on-site urgent care to, get some immediate treatment and not be horribly sick for 2 weeks after the conference. So COVID or not, I think it'll be a good thing to have. And if you have not already, be sure to read through our presenters tips. And if you have any other questions that you have before or after the conference relating to all this, you can contact me, Daniel, or Laura. Laura's had to attend another meeting, but her email is there and she is the expert of all things ELUNA annual meeting. Any questions for us? Feel free to unmute yourselves. Oh, is there a PowerPoint template you'd like presenters to use? No, you can use whatever PowerPoint template you would like. Will there be a protection screen to shield speakers from throwing fruits and vegetables? We'll see what we can do. All right, thank you for the heads up about the preparing your presentation link. I will make a note of that and get that fixed. There will be an HDMI cable if you bring your own laptop. However, you will just need to bring the HDMI adapter.
Shay, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Thanks so much for this overview. I have a curiosity question. You mentioned we'll have Q&A and we'll have moderators. Are these mics just in the aisles standing? People just kind of walk up to these mics, or this moderator will be running the mic around the room?
The moderator will be running the mic around the room.
Awesome, thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, I will stop the share and just still answer questions. So, is it acceptable to do a live demo as part of the presentation, or should everything be included within the slideshow? No, a live demonstration is perfectly fine. We will have internet connection. If it's something that, requires the use of a specific program, that would be a situation where it would be preferable that you use your own device. And just to make sure that you have the HDMI adapter. Size display requirements, it is widescreen, so you will want to make sure that your slides are set to 16:9. Actually, I can show you all that real quick if you're not already aware. And so if you're using, oh, hang on, which screen am I sharing? All right, it looks. So if you are using PowerPoint and you want to make sure your slides are widescreen, you would just go to slide size under the design tab and just select widescreen. Don't ask me about Google Slides on that. I have only used Google Slides like maybe once or twice, but I would imagine they have a similar capability.
Hi, Shay, this is Bill Jones.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if you recommended that people brought up or access their PowerPoint file, or if it was more recommended to have like a PDF so that the font or whatever kind of specialized things you had in your file weren't skewed if they didn't have a font on that display machine at the conference, or what your recommendations were.
That's a wonderful question, especially since I am someone who is particular about my fonts. I would say, especially for the doc repository, that if you uploaded a PDF version of your slides to Sketch as your slide upload, that would be appropriate. As far as the regular slides, it really would just depend. Like if you're not using any special fonts, just displaying from PowerPoint should work. I would say I'm pretty sure all of our AV laptops will be Microsoft products. So really, as long as it's a font that works with Microsoft, you should be okay.
Okay. Yeah, I've had issues even just going between different versions of PowerPoint that it like moves your stuff around. So I don't want to get burned on that. Thanks for the advice.
Mm-hmm. One tip for that too is if you wanted to go into a room during an off hour, like during a meal time, and just open your slides to see how it displays, that might be, a good check too.
Cool. Yeah, I'll try that out.
Laptops for the conference, PCs or Macs, they are PCs. Thank you, Daniel. Hey, Daniel, can you grab the link for the presenters tips and drop it into the chat? That would be helpful.
Yeah, give me just a sec.
Any other questions, thoughts, concerns, hopes, dreams?
I have a question, Christina Hennessy.
Hi, Christina.
You've intimidated me with the sound of these large rooms that might have 300 people in them. Is there just going to be one display screen behind us, or is it going to be like a concert where there's like a couple screens?
It depends on the room. For the most of the rooms, it will be one screen. If you are the handful of people who are presenting in the room being used for the plenaries, I'm pretty sure it will be 2 screens in that room.
Great, thank you.
Any other questions? Kimberly, I see your hand up.
Yeah, hi, thank you, Shay. Kimberly Wilson, St. Clair from Portland State. So if we do bring handouts, we should bring our own copies, right? That would be the
Yes.
best thing to do.
Yes,
Okay.
that would be preferable. And if you can upload a backup copy to Sketch so that folks can access it there too, and we can upload it to the repository after the fact, that would be great.
And then we can do live demos, as you said, as well as, but we won't be filmed. This is not hybrid. This is pure theater, right?
Pure theater, yes.
Okay, great, thanks.
These captions are not great. Sorry, I turned on the captions and keep getting distracted by the weird transcription. So hopefully they make some sense in the recording.
Zoom's ability to caption is not good at best.
Yeah, that's one way to describe it.
Really bad.
Other questions?
I have a question, Shay. This is Blake.
Yes.
I know I can't remember if this is ELUNA, but it's been some conferences I've been to that it's difficult to click out to a URL from the presenting laptop. Do you know if that will be a problem here? Because I think one of my presentations will be useful to click out.
I will confer with John on that one. So you're saying clicking out of the PowerPoint to open a link
To a website.
Yeah, click out.
External, yeah.
Great.
I will confer with John, and when we send out this stuff, I hope to have an answer about that.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Make sure I didn't miss any hands. All right, well, if there are no more questions, you can go ahead and go on about your day. Thank you again for presenting at ELUNA 2023. We're very excited for our first in-person conference in 4 years, and without your help, we would not be able to make it a success. Take care, everyone.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Shay.
Jay.